What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another Western New York Wednesday here on the channel. And this week I'm once again posting two separate Western New York Wednesday reviews, both of which are from the Frequentem Brewing Company, and they are headquartered in Canandaigua, New York. And the second one is their Just Fruit, the strawberry, raspberry, and blood orange variant. So they're calling this one a heavily fruited sour ale that is brewed with the aforementioned three fruits. It comes in at 5.2% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, this can is just over 2 months old. So earlier in the day, I posted another review from Frequentem of their black lager, which is a German-style black lager, aka a Schwarzbier, and it was delicious. I've had that beer before, so I pretty much knew it was going to be delicious, and it still was, even in the can. I had it both on tap and now in the can, and I'm telling you, delicious, delicious German-style black lager. However, I wanted to review two beers this week from Frequentem because recently, about a month ago, they opened up their brand new location in downtown Buffalo, New York. I have not been there yet. In the very near future, I will be hitting them up, and I want to welcome them to the area by posting a couple reviews of their beers. Now, full disclosure, I've had many beers within this Just Fruit series, and I love this series. Now, you know, a lot of people don't enjoy the heavily fruited / smoothie / slushy sour ales because a lot of people say they don't taste like beer, so on and so forth. What I do appreciate, however, about this specific series is that Frequentem basically takes a kettle sour and blends it with fruit puree. They don't use any other adjuncts, no lactose, no vanilla, marshmallow, whatever. It's exactly what it says, just fruit. And the vast majority of the ones I've had from them have been delicious. A lot of them very refreshing, tasty. And I wanted to grab at least, I've grabbed two of them, but this is the first one I'm reviewing. Another one I have is, I think it's strawberry, white grapes, and passion fruit. That should be delicious. Probably review that in the next couple weeks. But I wanted to review this one, so here we are. Anyway, let's crack this one open, get it into the glass, and see what we got going on here. I'm sure it's filled to the top like most of these are, and they're going to spew everywhere. It did not. So we're going to try to pour the entire thing in. I smell it from here. It looks bonkers. It smells bonkers. I'm sure it's going to be delicious. Oh, big head. Okay. So I don't know if I'll be able to get all of this in. We'll see. This is a big glass, but as you can tell, it has a crazy head. I might have to save this. We're going to see. Oh, don't need to save it. I will steal some off of the can here and say that, yeah, it tastes crazy. It tastes crazy. So anyway, we're going to throw this over here like that. I'm going to get a paper towel to wipe my hands because this stuff gets sticky real quick because of the fruit puree being fruit puree. So we'll throw this over here like that. And yeah, anyway, yeah, that looks like a huge heavily fruited sour, does it not? Has this like magenta look to it, fuchsia, if you will. Murky, turbid, can't see through it. Hold it up to the light. Yeah, you can't see anything through it. Has a very frothy 2-finger head that's dissipated. It was about, what, 3 fingers? Yeah, about a 3-finger head. It's dissipating. It's going to be a thin film sooner rather than later. You have all the pectin and fruit puree remnants on the rim, but it's exactly what you expect out of a beer like this. And see how much if I can pour it all in there. Yep, we got it all in there. Yeah, we're gonna cheat a little bit more. So yeah. It looks exactly how you expect it to look. And now when I poured it in, now it's even more carbonation. It's going to rise. Hopefully it doesn't go over, but it looks beautiful in the glass. Let's get a nose. It just smells super jammy. Yeah, it's like if you've ever had like one of those, I forget the brand name, but if anybody out there can help me out, it's the authentic jams that are like $6-7 in a container. You'll see it right next to Smucker's, and it has like a white, just like a plain white label. They have so many different ones. They have like a 4-fruit one. They have like a mix, I think a triple berry one. That's what this smells. It has the smell of that jam. It's very jammy. It's raspberries. It's strawberries. I'm really not getting the blood orange. It has this like kind of acidic, like tart vibe in the nose that I know this is going to be acidic and tart. It's not overly done, but it's definitely, maybe that's where the blood orange is sneaking in. Yeah, I mean, I could sit here and smell it. I'm probably not going to pull much more out of it, but I smell the strawberry, smell the raspberry. I think the blood orange, that little tart acidic thing, it looks like what these should look like. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. It's fucking delicious. Oh. That blood orange hits on the back of the palate. Ooh, yeah, this is good. This is real good. So the body on this is thick, right? It's a thick boy. It's fruit puree. It's one of these smoothie style sours, but it's not overly thick. It's like medium to full body. So it's not like you're chewing the damn thing, but it does have a thick kind of syrupy nature to it. The mouthfeel, on the other hand, this has a decent carbonation to it. What I'm starting to realize about a lot of these is I prefer them, this style specifically, with more carbonation because it makes them more refreshing. When they're so heavy from the body and then the mouthfeel is just like super soft, smooth, and creamy, it almost becomes a chore because it almost becomes a dessert like where the carbonation, think about like water to carbonated water. You know, a lot of people like that carbonation kind of refreshes their palate. And that's what it does in this style. And I think that's what I'm starting to dig a little bit more. This is like mild to moderate carbonation, but more approaching moderate. And it does have a smooth, creamy sensation to it because, you know, it's fruit puree blended with a kettle sour, but I appreciate that carbonation for my own personal preference. Taste is very unique. I get a big blast of raspberry. It's seedy, sweetened raspberry. It's like, yeah, I would say not a huge tartness from the raspberry. It's more sweet. They're over-ripened. The strawberry, however, is like perfectly ripened, so it has a sweetness to it, a little bit of tartness. That's front to back. I just get strawberry, basically strawberry and raspberry jam from front to back, but not that sweet, just like kind of that flavor. The second half of the palate is where the blood orange hits, and it's this slightly citrus kick. I wouldn't necessarily say specifically blood orange because I won't taste it to that level, but I would say something in the citrus realm. But it has this nice firm acidity along with a big tartness into a low sourness because the sides of my jaw, like it gripped, right? It was almost puckering off of that first sip. Now that my palate is acclimated to it, it's not as big, but it's still noticeable and it's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, it's the puree with the base kettle sour. Again, this has a high tartness and a lower sourness. It has a nice firm acidity. It's pretty dry in the back of the palate too. I'd say like semi to almost full on dry. No real bitterness to speak of in these beers. You don't usually get it. I think the beauty about this beer specifically is that, yeah, there's a lot of sweetness from the berries, but it's all balanced out by the blood orange and the base beer. And there's enough dryness on the finish. There's enough acidity and enough of that sour kick that this is really tasty. Would I want to drink more than one can? No. I mean, from a calorie perspective, from a taste perspective, these are usually one and done for me. Even at 5.2%, like just usually done with it, right? This would be a beautiful sharing beer. I'd love 8 ounces of this and move on to something else. But I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you. It tastes delicious. Is it beer? I don't give a shit. I don't really entertain that conversation anymore because we all know this is technically beer. There are others out there like, you know, heavily fruited seltzers, for example, that are not beer. But this is a beer, even though it doesn't taste like it. And if I'm in the mood for something like this, these Just Fruits hit almost every single time for me. And they're just really tasty. I'll do one more sip and then we'll lock in a rating. Yeah, really nice. I will say too, I love that it's not overly sweet. This is not a cloying, like big, I want 3 or 4 ounces and I'm done. This is actually well done. And I think this is a blood orange, probably breaking up the monotony of the sweetness from the raspberries and the strawberries. At the end of the day, this is really just tasty, plain and simple. So Just Fruit, the strawberry, raspberry, and blood orange variant from Frequentem. High 4.5 and go 4.6 out of 5. This is fucking fantastic. And this is why I love this series. And I can't wait to try that strawberry, white grape, and passion fruit. That's going to probably be just bonkers. I've never had that combination of fruit in one of these beers. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. All right. So, yeah, they always have the fruits on there. I don't know if it's funny because the way they list the fruits, you think this should be named something else. I don't know. I don't know why that matters. Anyway, price point availability. Price point. These are a little bit cheaper than, like I always say when I review like Mortales and Froth and stuff, I'll be like, $25 4-pack, this is going great. $22 4-pack at the Brewery for these, which is $3 cheaper, 75 cents less a can. That's a good deal. I paid for a single can of this in the $6 range, like $6.50, which again is cheaper than the Mortales and Froths and a lot. $4.50 North's way cheaper for me. well, this is way cheaper than 450 North, I meant. So yeah, I'm going to buy more of these and review them going forward for sure. You know, every maybe, you know, 2, 3, 4 months, whatever. But these are just delicious, and availability, like I mentioned in the earlier review, the Black Lager, I really don't know with Frequentem. You can get them in the West New York area. One of their 2 breweries, the Canandaigua and the Buffalo locations. I don't think they do shipping like online. I think they get out to like Syracuse, maybe down to like Albany and whatnot. I don't know for sure, but let's just say this: you're in West New York area, you can pick up their stuff. I don't think they see like any kind of you know, they make it to like Tavor or anything. But yeah, if you've had this one before, anything in the Just Fruit series, post in the comment section and let me know what your favorite variant is. Have you had this one? If not, if you haven't had any of their beer, does this sound appeasing to you? Is this something you would pick up? Because I really like the series a lot. I love that it's no frills. It's just like, here's fruit puree, here's a kettle sour, blend it together, see what happens. They're not throwing in lactose. They're not like, hey, we're going to put vanilla and marshmallow. They're just, hey, here's a just fruit, heavily fruited sour. Have fun. And guess what? I'm having a ball. 5.2%, you can't tell? Anyway, gonna shut it down. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Check back next week for West New York Wednesday. Not gonna do a double feature. I don't actually know what I'm reviewing next week. Got a couple options. We'll see. Anyway, to the next one. Cheers, and oh yeah, congratulations for Frequentem. Open up the new digs. I'll be there at some point in the near future. You can count on it. Cheers.